think about fermentation for a second. When we've done all of our brewing, even with that water, right? We've done all the brewing, you can look at all the backside of it, and we pitch that yeast into it. Yeast likes to work within a particular pH range, and it's very picky. Yeast that we pitch both on beer and liquor side typically likes to work anywhere between 3.5 to 5 pH. So if we have a high pH quality, such as like an 8 pH water, that makes it really difficult for that yeast to ferment. Luckily here in Birmingham, we actually have a really, really good water quality to brew with. We are actually extremely blessed to be able to have the water quality that we have, which I would argue makes us one of the best top 5 cities in the country to go get you some liquor or some beer at. That's real. That's real. Come on down to Birmingham, man. We got some good water for it. That's what we're named after. We're named after the Cahaba River because of its quality of water. Our motto is passion like a river flows. That's how we like to do it, man. And that's what we've got. We've got the ability and the beauty of some really clean water, along with obviously some filtration systems. Sure. But pH is your biggest factor in that. So when you look on the back end of that, agave is a really good example here. My agave starts at about a 5.5 pH. Mm-hmm. By the time 3 or 4 days have passed, my pH has dropped to almost 3. It's super acidic. So there are some times where brewers and distillers have to intervene with what the yeast does and what the water has done with this profile. So me personally, on my agave in particular, sometimes I have to pitch potassium carbonate. Potassium carbonate is a very basic ingredient. I want to say it rests like 8.5 on the pH scale. That helps bump my agave ferment up to allow that yeast to be healthy and active and allow it to eat at those sugars to produce the ethanol that allows me to distill the agave.
Today on Tastemakers, we're sitting down with a rising talent in the world of craft brewing, Brayden Puckett. Braden currently serves as the head distiller at Cahaba Brewing Company, after first joining the company as assistant distiller from 2022 to 2024, and quickly earning his leadership role through dedication and mastery of his craft. A graduate of Huntington College, Braden holds a degree in business administration with a minor in history, combining business knowledge with a deep appreciation for tradition and process. His leadership extends beyond brewing. While in college, he helped co-found the Cahaba Lacrosse Club, creating competitive opportunities for both men and women, while also competing as a member of the Huntington lacrosse team from 2018 to 2022. Braden also developed his leadership skills through Sigma Phi Epsilon, serving in key roles focused on recruitment and membership development. Whether leading on the field, in the classroom, or inside the distillery, Braden has consistently shown a passion for excellence, growth, and community. Join us as we go inside the world of craft brewing with Brayden Puckett, right here on Tastemakers.
We want to give a special thanks to all of our new viewers for tuning in and supporting Tastemakers. Our mission is to highlight the people, stories, and businesses that are making a real impact in our communities. If you enjoy our content, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share the channel. With your support, we'll be able to continue to grow this channel, reach even more incredible guests, and invest in creating even better content for you. Every view, every like, every subscription makes a difference. Thank you for being a part of the journey, and we'll see you on the next episode. Tastemakers.
Putting on for the city. Run around in checkups for a minute. If you about your business, let me put you on. We handle business for a living. Tastemakers, what we boast of.
Welcome today to another episode of Tastemakers. We're here today at Cahaba Brewery in Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm with
Brayden Puckett.
He's one of the master distillers here at Cahaba Brewery and stuff. And right now we sipping on a little Cahaba Blonde. And what you got?
I got a pocket size IPA. I usually like lager, but had to go a little lighter ABV. Migraine today, but cheers up, baby.
All right.
Happy to talk with you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, how did you get started in the distillery business?
Random as can be. So when I was 17 or 18 years old, if y'all know Dread River Distilling Company, there's a big old black wall on the side of Dread River. And when I was coming out of high school, they needed a couple folks to help come and paint that wall. We came out, we painted it, I got paid, and it was done about a month early. So when it was finally finished, they needed some help inside, needed some help cleaning up, more or less doing some bitch work, cleaning up the old grain and helping load up whatever it is, unloading, doing forklift stuff. I got paid to do that, and as an 18-year-old from Alabama, who's going to say no to learn be anything surrounding whiskey? So I got the opportunity to be there for 3 or 4 years. I was able to learn way more than I ever thought I would. I ended up having a lot more responsibility than I was expecting at that time, and that accelerated me more than I ever thought it would. So all the respect to Dread, thank y'all.
Shout out to Dread River, which is another Birmingham distillery that we have here. Check them out too. What are the core factors that define a whiskey's quality, and how does a distillery influence each of them?
That's a great question. So, to be honest with you, in the craft world, that actually lies in the eyes of the distiller. When you look at your successful whiskey brands, you look at a Maker's Mark, and you look at what we say here, maybe like a Booker's. You look at a Buffalo Trace. There are some certain flavors that actually tend to be consistent between those, and your main ones you've seen are vanillins. You happen to see fruit flavors, and you've got to see some oak tendencies. And so the biggest things that you're looking for when you are actually distilling a bourbon is you want to make sure that you're actually showing the corn, right? Corn offers a super sweet and distinct characteristic that any other grain can't offer. Wheat will not offer it. Malted barleys will not offer it. Corn is extremely distinct, and that's why bourbon has gotten so explosive and popular over the last 15 years. So you got to work with that corn. As long as you're able to work with the corn, you can make a great product, and it's however you want. If you're looking for a more spicy product, maybe throw it in a little bit of a higher char barrel and maybe add some more rye into it. If you're looking for something that's a little more smooth, more vanilla, and maybe a little more stone fruit, maybe you want to throw that into a char 3 and you want to back off on that corn, you want to add some more wheat to it. If y'all have ever had a wheated bourbon, y'all know that can tend to be a little bit more sweeter. A rye is going to be a little bit more spicy. That's how you play with your bourbon, is those back ends. The government tells us we've got to use 51% corn to be considered bourbon. That other 49% is up to your play. So it's whatever the distiller wants. Do they want something smoky, or do they want something spicy? Do they want something sweet? Do they want something, whatever it is that they're looking for, as long as they stay within those restrictions, that's all theirs. And so for me personally, I'm young. I'm 26. I don't have an answer for what I like for my bourbon. I like wheated bourbons and I like ryes. I don't know if I want to go on a sweeter route. I don't know if I want to go on a spicier route. But what I'll tell you is with the bourbon that we released that you've had the opportunity to try.
One for bourbon.
Hopefully we all think that. It's a 4-year, 1-day bourbon. I think that actually has a little bit more of the spicier characteristics than I would like. I'd actually like to lean a little bit sweeter. So I'm thinking, the next couple years of bourbons, I'm going to add maybe 5 or 10% more wheat just to try to get that into it.
What makes a good bourbon?
Based on me, based on what I say, I love ryes. I love ryes. I love a spice. I love a spice to my rye. And the biggest thing that's going to make a good bourbon is not what you do as a distiller, and it's not going to be what you've accomplished in the still. Anybody can understand. It doesn't take a genius to understand how to run that still, to be honest with you. You can set time parameters for yourself and know that you're going to create about an 80 to 90% consistent product if you've learned that still enough. What's really going to make the difference in a bourbon between distiller A and distiller B is how they cellar. And that's how they interact with the barrel. A beauty of Alabama bourbon is that we have some of the most aggressive weather change in the country. That means this wood wants to expand, it wants to contract. I fill that barrel to the brim in the cold months. So what's gonna happen? That whiskey's gonna interact day and night and day and night. Every time that we have a 120-degree day back here, or in December when we get that 20-degree day back here where it's so frozen that our pipes burst in the back. That did happen. It gets every interaction. So the more that whiskey can change barometric pressures, temperatures, that's how you're gonna get a good whiskey. You don't wanna over oak it though. And that's the biggest factor and contender. And that's what you can kind of see sometimes, in my opinion, with some Kentucky bourbons, Tennessee bourbons as well, and also Alabama bourbons. It doesn't matter anywhere you go. You can have some aggressive seasons. And in those aggressive seasons, you can get more oak than you like. And that's where you get that. You ever had a bourbon that's maybe 100 proof and it tastes like 110?
Yes.
Over oak.
When we had the taste, we tried some.
That's right. That's it. That's
some.
over oak.
Okay.
And that's something that you want to avoid. So it's diligence. It's being patient. It's making sure that you're keeping on track with each and every barrel. I go and taste every barrel once every 6 months. I've got a whole spreadsheet chart with everything that has my tasting notes and when I think it will be ready is laid out for me.
Okay.
So yeah.
So besides bourbon, you do vodka, you do gin, tequila. You just did a wonderful tequila.
Yes, sir.
Cheers
yes, sir.
to that.
Cheers up, baby.
That was
appreciate you.
Very good. You got to try it. So, what are your favorite? Do you prefer a vodka? Which one is your go-to? The vodka, the gin, or the tequila, or the bourbon?
So that's a fun answer. As a distiller, I'm surrounded by liquor all day, and by the end of the day, especially if I'm running the still, I've easily tasted about 2 shots worth of liquor. I'm only tasting, 0.2 to 0.25 ounces at a time. It's not a lot, but I'm still drinking liquor. So by the end of the day, when it comes to what I prefer to drink, it's a beer. It's a beer all day. Now, if you had to ask me what I'm gonna drink based on what I serve at the bar right now, in order, it'd be whiskey, it'd be my barrel-aged gin, it'd be my agave, it'd be my vodka, it'd be my regular gin, and then about 2 weeks from now, we got rum coming back. So we'll keep that.
You got me on the barrel-aged gin.
Yes, sir.
I didn't know.
You don't know that?
Look, man, we had got a bottle. We took it home.
Yeah.
Did what it was supposed to do. It was good.
That's what we need.
So my next question is, how does water quality and minerals content impact mash, fermentation, and the final whiskey profile, and what role does the distillery's water management play?
That's a great question. That's an excellent question. So the biggest factor is pH. When you are looking at, think about fermentation for a second. When we've done all of our brewing, even with that water, right? We've done all the brewing, you can look at all the backside of it, and we pitch that yeast into it. Yeast likes to work within a particular pH range, and it's very picky. Yeast that we pitch both on beer and liquor side typically likes to work anywhere between 3.5 to 5 pH. So if we have a high pH quality, such as like an 8 pH water, that makes it really difficult for that yeast to ferment. Luckily here in Birmingham, we actually have a really, really good water quality to brew with. We are actually extremely blessed to be able to have the water quality that we have, which I would argue makes us one of the best top 5 cities in the country to go get you some liquor or some beer at. That's real. That's real. Come on down to Birmingham, man. We got some good water for it. That's what we're named after. We're named after the Cahaba River because of its quality of water. Our motto is "Passion like a river flows." That's how we like to do it, man. And that's what we've got. We've got the ability and the beauty of some really clean water, along with obviously some filtration systems. Sure. But pH is your biggest factor in that. So when you look on the back end of that, agave is a really good example here. My agave starts at about a 5.5 pH By the time 3 or 4 days have passed, my pH has dropped to almost 3. It's super acidic. So there are some times where brewers and distillers have to intervene with what the yeast does and what the water has done with this profile. So me personally, on my agave in particular, sometimes I have to pitch potassium carbonate. Potassium carbonate is a very basic ingredient. I want to say it rests like 8.5 on the pH scale. That helps bump my agave ferment up to allow that yeast to be healthy and active and allow it to eat at those sugars to produce the ethanol that allows me to distill the agave. But on the beer side, which I can't answer much to, I'm all liquor, right? On the beer side, minerals have a different mouthfeel over here. What I would encourage you to do when we are finished talking is go over to our board and try our Kolsch beer. We actually added minerals that are indicative and relative to those over in Europe. Like we literally Googled and researched the mineral profile of the water over in Europe and replicated it by dosing it. We're trying to create the best beer in the world that is created in Germany and in Europe and in Poland and all those places over here. And that starts with water chemistry. So that's an excellent question.
What's up? My name is Brayden from Tastemakers. Today I'm with
Brayden Puckett, 2 Braydens.
Oh, there we go. What was your favorite subject in high school?
Favorite subject in high school had to have been history or science. I love science because the chemistries helped me with my distilling today, and history is always something that interested me.
So your favorite category in science is chemistry?
Chemistry, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Loved it. How about you?
My favorite is environmental science.
I love environmental science.
Yep.
That's the way to be. That's what we like to do.
Yep. So did you major in chemistry?
I have a minor in chemistry, I have a major in business administration, and I also have a minor in history. So chemistry and history, I've got the minors in. And then business administration, I knew I wanted to do this industry when I got out of college. So I figured what minors can help me acquire this and what major can help me acquire something else if this doesn't work out. I had a fallback plan. I don't encourage everyone to do that, but that's what I did.
So what college did you go to?
Huntington College down in Montgomery, Alabama, Hawkham. Played lacrosse down there and was a SIG Ep.
So do you have any hobbies?
I have a lot of hobbies. I love taking my dog to the river. I still play lacrosse to this day. Cahaba Brewing actually has a lacrosse team. We have a hockey team. I'm a part of the lacrosse team. And other than that, I just love my job and I love my friends. Nothing else you can ask for, man. Good people.
Did you play any sports in high school?
Yeah, lacrosse, no football. No football quite yet in high school. I played golf, not competitively, and I played basketball for fun. But I was really bad at basketball. Like I was good, but I got postered a lot. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. Brayden, pleasure to meet you, man.
It's a pleasure to meet you too.
Take it easy, brother.
You too. Well, this was Brayden from Tastemakers. We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Y'all have a good one.
So I see that you brought the strawberry blonde back.
Yeah.
So that was by demand or just seasonal?
We have a little bit of a different philosophy on kind of how we distribute our beer, and the biggest one is you can't miss it if it's never gone, right? So we got the blonde year round, and blonde's a staple, and I think we all know that blonde and Good People IPA I think are the two Alabama beers that nobody can come to Alabama and not try at least once. Like they are our staples.
Got to.
Strawberry blonde is a derivative of our staple, and what's going to generate the most excitement for it? If we keep it on year round, it's great, but who's going to want to continue to drink it when they can just go to the reliable blondes?
Yeah, give the people something to look forward to.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's a great concept. So my next question is, what grain mix, single malt grain, rye, corn, most strongly determines a whiskey identity, and how does the distillery source handles its grain.
Wow. Woo. So, whiskey is whiskey. Is whiskey is whiskey. There is single malt whiskey. There is bourbon whiskey. There is straight whiskey. I mean, there are. One thing that I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all, and I encourage y'all to go do who are watching, is to go look up TTB Chapter 4. TTB Chapter 4 will give you every single identification of what bourbon is, what gin is, what vodka is, what rum is. It gives you your identifiers. So by technical terms, that is your answer. Go to TTB Chapter 4. As a distiller says, and as a dude from Alabama says, corn makes a whiskey to me. Corn makes a whiskey, and corn makes bourbon. Corn makes bourbon, and bourbon is 51% corn. That is the whiskey that I prefer. We also make single malt. We make American single malt here. We make peated single malt here. There are several different grains that are going to determine what whiskey makes what. So it's really a matter of what whiskey you're trying to make rather than what flavor you're trying to achieve. The style will tell you what flavor you're trying to achieve. It's just a matter of how you get there. So that'd be my answer to that.
Good answer. So, how do yeast stains select and fermentate conditions at a distillery influence aroma, texture, and alcohol quality?
Yeast. So that's a really good one. So yeast is actually an extremely overlooked part of the entire process. You can brew everything absolutely perfectly. You can get every multi-sugar chain broken down perfectly and get it into your maltose and your sucrose, and you have the perfect fermentables. If you don't have a healthy yeast and a yeast that's going to throw correct characters, you're going to have the wrong product. A good example of this would be a Hefeweizen beer. You've had a Hefeweizen beer before. You know that banana characteristic? That's not anything that the brewers put in the malt. That's the yeast. The yeast is what actually creates a Hefeweizen is nothing any more special than just a regular Pilsner. They just used a yeast that throws banana kind of qualities to it. So yeast is a huge part in it. Now, different distillers handle it differently. Some distillers rely on their yeast to actually provide some of that aroma. Some distillers rely on their yeast, or on their, on their grain to actually provide some of that aroma, and they want a neutral yeast to allow that grain to kind of allow it to express itself. And it depends on the spirit. You know, me personally, like on my whiskey, on our bourbons, I use the exact same yeast that we use in our blonde ale because it ferments clean. Yeah. And I like what we do on our bourbon. I like the flavor that the malt gives on our bourbon. We get most of our bourbon malt from Riverbend Malt House. They're out of North Carolina. They are the only malt supplier in the Southeast that I'm aware of that actually produces the grain that you need to make whiskey at a quality level. So I use Riverbend religiously, and I use a very neutral yeast that allows those malts to express itself. But then you can look at the other side of it, and you can look at somebody that is across the country and maybe they want a very expressive, cherry fruity kind of bourbon.
Shout out to Riverbend.
Shout out Riverbend.
So my next question is, how does the aging environment, wood type at a distillery affect the interaction with the barrel?
Yeah, so that we actually had a fun little conversation about it earlier. Yeah. We'll dive back into it. And everybody who's watching this hopefully has a home or has somebody safe to live, somewhere safe to live. We've all seen in the summer, especially in Alabama, how our wood in our house can start to come up in the summer and kind of start to bow up more than we would like.
Yeah, that was like yesterday. It was hot.
Yeah, man. Shoot, I already had to replace my AC unit in my floor of my house because my wood bowed too much. But that same principle, that's what a distiller loves. We love to see that wood bow. So when I fill this barrel up, I fill this thing all the way up to the top, right? As soon as that wood starts to expand, it's gonna draw some of that whiskey into that wood. When it gets cold, that whiskey's gonna constrict and it's gonna push that whiskey back in. That whiskey's not getting dark just by sitting there in a stagnant nature. It's getting that color by nature allowing it to constrict and grow and pull and interact with that wood and that charred oak as much as possible. Alabama is one of the very few states that I believe has a really, really awesome opportunity to do that. Tennessee, proven and done. Kentucky, proven and done. South Carolina, I think, will be on the come up soon. Georgia has an opportunity to do that. Unfortunately, they're very mountainous in a lot of their northeast.
Sure.
I can get deep into that, man. But
Georgia does have some good bourbon.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I think they're on the up and coming. I really think they're on the up and coming.
I had the opportunity to try some World Whiskey Society. Shout out to them. ASW. We had some good pours.
Shout out ASW, man. They are awesome.
So I'm gonna ask you this: how does a distillery build its brand and story through production choices, and what impact do these decisions have on quality and market reception?
So I might be the wrong person to ask about this because currently here at Cahaba, we have not started distributing yet. We're not there yet. Soon? Bet your ass. We here soon. We here soon. But the biggest thing to me, and it really depends on what market you're in, but I'm looking at the Birmingham market because that's where we're at. And I think that the Birmingham market is more unique than any market that you can see in the US because we have such a tight bond and brotherhood here, and it's just a small community. I feel like everybody knows everybody. There's a reason that we're having this conversation right now, right? Like I'm going to argue that you're not going to see that you're not going to see this in a Spokane. You're not going to see this up in New York. We're a city that wants to build itself and prove itself as to what we are. To me, that starts ground-based with being a people person, and that's interacting with the person. Every single person that comes through that door. I don't care if I've finished a 10-hour day, dude. I'm an asshole. I don't care if I come out after a 10-hour day and I don't want to see nobody. If somebody's up there enjoying our product and they're going to offer a compliment, I want to make sure they're having the best time possible. I want to make sure that they come back, and I want to make sure that every time they come back, they feel taken care of and that they're having some of the best product they can get within 200 miles.
That's right.
And that's what we all want here. That's what everybody at Cahaba wants. That's what every brewery that's still open here in Birmingham wants. Like this, all of us want the same thing. We want to provide a great, happy, homey place to be able to come get drinks with people that you enjoy and love and celebrate your life success. That's all we want. It's not just a Cahaba thing. I can guarantee that. That's a Good People thing. That's a Trim Tab thing. That's a district thing. Name it.
So that brings me to another question. If y'all had the opportunity to collaborate with another distiller, which one would y'all like to?
With another distillery?
Yeah.
Me biasly would be Dread River because that's where I got my roots. Just on absolute bias. But are we talking Alabama?
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere. Angel's Envy, man. Angel's Envy has been my go-to since day one. It's a little sweeter, and again, I'm a weeded bourbon guy, so that's kind of why I'm going down that route. But the process that Angel's Envy uses and the just the complexity of flavor that they offer in comparison to being such a long-aged spirit versus others, it never tastes nearly oaked to me. It tastes like somebody dosed it with vanilla.
Yeah.
And that doesn't hurt my feelings at all, man. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. But I love me some Angel's Envy. I would love to work with them if I could. There's also another distillery out in the Netherlands that we've had some talks with here recently. The name is escaping me. But we're hoping to do a glowworm whiskey with them. I'll tell you more about that later. But hey, yeah.
So behind us, we have a couple of barrels, y'all. So can you kind of tell the audience what are these barrels used for?
Yeah, so currently right now we're actually in our barrel room. This is in an air-conditioned environment. This is good for beer. Like I was telling y'all earlier, wood, as it gets hotter and colder, likes to interact and contract. That's really good for whiskey. That's really good for agave. That's really good for rum. That's good for anything liquor. When you've got something that's a low ABV, you can't guarantee cleanliness. We don't want infection on our beer. So the best way that you can mitigate infection on a beer is keeping it in a temperature-controlled room, like we're in here. So right now we know year-round this is going to be a 65 to 75 degree room. We know that this is going to be standard and easy to go. On top, we also have empty barrels. We also keep our empty barrels in here for the same principle. We know the wood is not going to expand or change. We know that it's going to be swelled and ready to go, and we're ready to refill these barrels. So on the beer side, it's absolutely essential that we keep it on an air-conditioned side and separated from the rest. On the liquor side, we want to hurt the barrel's feelings. That's how you're going to get the most flavor.
All right. Well, y'all, we're going to take a few minutes and we're going to go inside and check some things out in the distillery. Cheers.
Cheers up, baby. Yeah, let's go on through the back and show what we got going on back here. I got to know how you spell it, though. My man.
Same.
He's here. My man.
Same.
You done spelled it right.
Oh, man. This is new equipment.
Yeah,
That's a new one.
That's a new piece I was telling you about. Yeah,
Right.
man.
That thing is good.
But if y'all want, I'll go and get y'all started. Y'all want the brewing and the distilling process? Y'all want it all?
Yeah, we go around here the whole thing.
We'll start over here first.
Okay.
So over here we got all of our small batch fermenters. Each of these are 7 barrels, 7 barrel, 7 barrel, 7 barrel, 7 barrel, 15 barrel, and a 2.5 barrel. So whenever y'all come to Cahaba Brewing, anytime y'all get a beer that y'all don't see canned, which would be, your Blonde, your River Haze, your Oca Uba, Del Rio, anything else that you try is going to be made out of these tanks right here. We got one small batch guy named Zach Gilbert. He does an amazing job with the beer, and our head brewer, Sam Renta, also absolutely kills it. They do an amazing job, and they make what the community wants to drink. And this is one of our definitions. If I say a fuck around and find out, we dump all of our grains straight into this side. We sparge in through the top with our hot water, and we mix it all together by hand. After about an hour of sitting here and just doing a grain rest, we'll start our lauter, and during our lauter is when we'll actually transfer our liquid over to our kettle. We'll sparge water on top. We want to make sure that all of that water is pulling as much sugar as we can out of that grain and pulling it into our boiler. After we've gotten everything pulled, we're going to sit here, we're going to boil it once we've come up to temperature for at least an hour. Once we come up to our temperature, we're going to knock it out. We're going to pitch our yeast nutrients, knock it out at about anywhere from 70 to 50 degrees, depending on the product. If we're doing a blonde ale, we're doing an ale, we're going to look at 67 degrees. If we're looking at an IPA, 64, 65. If we're looking at a lager, like 55, 54 degrees. So depending on what kind of product we're making is what temperature we're going to knock it out at.
So what's like one of the best grains to use?
Pilsner is one that we typically use the most. Pilsner and two-row are what are considered base malts. And a base malt is what's going to give you a super high sugar content, which in turn, super high sugar gives you high alcohol. So if you can make, for example, our blonde is almost 80% Pilsner. But what we do on the back end with it, with that other 20%, because it makes such a good enough alcohol content with that percentage of grain, we can make the fun flavors with the other 20%. So that's the fun balance of being a brewer and distiller, is where do you find your flavor and where do you find your efficiency, and how can we make that one that the community is going to love. And that's what we've seen to find with blonde.
All right, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So what else we got? What are these?
We'll move over here. in just a second. I'll go and show you all my stills real quick if
Okay.
y'all want.
Come on, yeah.
This is where all the liquor's made over here in this corner. This guy has not been installed yet. It was supposed to be installed when you got here. We had a couple parts come in just a little bit late. This is a 1-barrel system, fully copper. We got lucky how we came about it. This is a really beautiful piece of equipment. This is going to allow me to make flavored rums, flavored vodkas, hopefully some brandy here pretty soon. So this is going to open up the door to a lot of fun stuff.
Like a good brand.
Outside of that, we've got our biggest still right
baby.
here. This is a 600-gallon bain-marie pot still. It also has a 4-plate column option still as well. I make most everything that we have in house here. That includes agave, that includes all of our whiskeys, that included rum to a certain extent. I decided to cut rum out of this system. Rum will move to here very, very, very soon. It should be back sooner than I would like, but we can always hope more than it really happens. But this is an excellent still, 600 gallons. I have used this for about 3.5 years now. We put this in about 2022, and it served its purpose, man. There's nothing super special about it. There's nothing to write home about it, but stills kind of work like humans. They don't work quite like machinery. You would think machinery actually would work more consistently than anything else. It has an attitude. So I've learned its attitude, and it's learned mine, and we coexist very well.
Y'all work perfectly together.
We coexist very well together. We still have our issues, we still have our trials and tribulations, but it's a good time. I love this still.
So to the people that don't know, Cahaba Brewery has one of the cleanest vodkas. Got to try it. And the tequila is award winning. You got to try both. Along with the bourbon, along with the gin.
Bring it on, baby. Bring it on. We proud. If we don't put it in the bottle, it don't need to be served.
That's right.
That's
You heard it first. So what else we got?
So we'll move on over here. You want to come on in this way? I gotta show you all the.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Like a legion.
So this is what we call the Distiller house. This is what we got. We got all of our fermenters up in here. 1, 2, 3, and 4, all behind you. All of these guys are 120 barrel fermenters. Our main product is blonde. That's what we make most of. Our blondes are all fermented in here, including our strawberry and blood orange blonde when those come about seasonally. Everything else that you see, all these other fermenters are 60 barrels. All of our 60 barrels host a plethora. They host Oca Uba, they host Del Rio, they host Sweet Home Sour, they sometimes host some of our blondes, and they also host some of our liquor fermentations. Agave just finished fermenting in this tank right here. I bet there's still a little bit of pressure. None at all. It's done empty. But this is where I fermented my agave in, which is the tequila that we're talking about. I do 60 barrels at a time. So with that big still that y'all just saw, I can run 3 distillations in that tank out of this one. So I do 1 fermentation, I get 3 distillations.
Man,
so my efficiency is very fun.
Okay.
Once we're done fermenting, which by the way, after we pitch yeast, we've brewed, we bring it all over here. Fermentation can last anywhere from 4 days to 30 days. And it really depends on the product. Our blonde, our Ocas only take about a week. You look at our lagers and they take multiple weeks. That's what lagering is multiple weeks of sitting in a cold tank. My agave, I have a very resilient yeast, but it does not like to work fast. And our blonde can drop 3 or 4 sugar points in a night. My agave on a good day drops about 0.8. So it takes time. It takes about a month to finish my agave.
So I got to ask you that question. What makes a good tequila?
Wrong person to ask, but the right person to have an opinion, I guess. I don't drink tequila. I never did.
Yeah.
Tequila was asked for by our bartenders about a year ago. I went to ABC store and I bought 10 different bottles of tequila. And I have, if I can find it, I bet it's sitting over there on my desk. I'll try to find it on the page of like my research and development on it, on what qualities I found desirable in some tequilas and what I didn't. I'm not going to speak on any product names right here, but I found my desirables, and based on my chemistry knowledge, it was how can I recreate these desirables that I find in these other tequila brands to make one that stands out different but is consistent with the tequila product. And I think after a year and a half of research and development, we're close. I'm happy with what we're pouring right now. I don't think we're done developing. I think there's plenty more to grow. I think there's plenty more flavor development to be had, but right now I'm very happy with what we serve, and I think the community is too.
It is. It's very good. You got to try it. Got to try the Cahaba tequila.
So up here, this is kind of where everything gets started. I'll show you all the mill here in a little bit. We're kind of going in reverse of how the whole process goes. Okay. But if y'all can see this old PVC pipe up here, this is where we actually get the grain into our brew house to be able to start our brewing process. I'll show you all later how we crush that grain up, but we have a whole machine that will crush the grain. It'll send it over and it drops it straight into this tank. Inside this tank, if you want to come get a look, we have graded bottom, and we have several arms that go around in circulation, and this begins the brewing process. When these sugars start, they're super complex chains. They're really long. When we actually heat it up, outside of the human mouth, the saliva and heat are the only two things that can actually break these sugar chains down on a chemical level. So when we actually put it in the brew house, we're breaking it down from about a 10 to 12 chain to about a 3 to 4 simple sucrose, maltose, whatever kind of chain we're looking for. After we've broken this down, we need to move this liquid and wort over to our kettle. That's why we have these graded bottoms right here. The grain stays here and the liquid moves over.
Okay.
After we move it over, we're over here into our kettle. The kettle is nothing extremely special. This is essentially a graduated teapot. All we're looking forward to doing here is to get it to boil for two reasons. Cleanliness, we don't want to allow any infection. And number two, we're trying to make sure that the hops can enter into a clean environment as well. When you look at beer has all the hops in the world. A lot of the bittering hops come in on the kettle, right? Other hops go in during a dry hop session on the actual fermenter. As a distiller, I don't use hops. Those aren't important to me. So my knowledge of those is about what I just gave you. I'm an idiot with that. On my liquor side, I have to treat it like a brewer over here because of the equipment I have. Once we've heated it up, we're going to pitch something called Yeast X. Yeast X is a nutrient. Nutrient is what allows that yeast to get active and makes it want to start eating those sugars in the brew that we've created.
Okay.
Once it eats those sugars, that's what creates our ethanol. But once we finish pitching our yeast nutrient in here, we knock out. If you guys see this pipe right here, we have a heat X on the bottom. Our heat X will change the temperature of this liquid that we're sending out from 212 degrees to 60 degrees in an instant. Sends it up, through and over along this back wall, and that's how we ship it straight into those fermenters that we just saw. Any given day, we can do about 3 turns a day, and it takes about 12 hours. So in a given week, we could do in theory about 600 barrels.
That's a lot.
We typically do about 200 to 300, just given where we need to be right now.
It's a little warm in here, so you could.
Yeah, so that's the other fun part. Up here in this part, ambient temperature is usually about 95, 100 degrees.
Yeah.
During the real summer, it can get about 110, 115. Yeah, it can get real fun up here,
imagine.
But yeah, we'll run on down to Candlelight, and I'll show you how that works. Damn, we need to CIP that. That smells like shh. Sorry about that.
Hey,
Our poor brewer had to do 6 turns this week, so he didn't even have a chance to clean it yet. He was going to clean it on Monday.
He was working. Yeah, that's a lot, 6 turns in.
I mean, he was up there for freaking 30 hours this week. Ooh. Yeah, man. 30 hours.
So y'all do kids?
Yeah.
Half a kids?
That's what we're about to get to right now. So, I'll let them get set up. But yeah. Once the beer is done fermenting, this is not my side, I'm liquor. Once a liquor is done fermenting, that's when I actually take it and I put it into the still that y'all saw earlier. On the beer side, once it's done fermenting, we actually have to transfer to something called a bright tank. These 3 vessels that don't have a silicone bottom are bright tanks. The reason you move to a bright tank is for 2 reasons. Number 1, since it's done fermenting, you want to crash that beer to as cold as it can get so that there's no vector for infection. Number 2, you want to allow all the hop and yeast and grain particulate to fall on the bottom. So, when we go to can, we move everything over to our bright tanks. We let it sit for 2 or 3 days, let it get super cold, and then we start to can. We'll pull our canning off of this valve right here, and we'll go into our system. And this is one of the coolest pieces of equipment we have in the whole building.
So this is where the canning goes in?
This is where all the canning is. So any dumb beer you drink from Cahaba started right here, or finished right here, I should say.
Okay.
We load in a pallet of empty cans into our elevator. Essentially, loads it up. If you can see this push arm on the back side, that pushes our beers forward onto a conveyor belt. That conveyor belt moves it straight down to our twist rinse. This twist rinse serves 3 purposes. Number 1, it keeps all of our beer cans in line so that there's no jams. Number 2, it puts the date on the bottom of the can. So whenever you look for that expiration date, that's what puts it on there, is that little gray, blue, and black piece sitting on top. And then also inside the metal tubing, we spray water inside. We got to rinse it out, make sure there's no dust in it, because we want to make sure that y'all are getting some garbage in your beer. Once it comes down through here, feel free to come on the back side because it gets super particular.
Come on.
Got the can here just to show you how it works. Can comes through. These are our purge lines. These lines remove the CO2 or any oxygen out of the can to make sure that there is as much dead space in the can as possible. Once it's removed that, it comes on through to our fill heads. Our fill heads are connected to our tank where our beer exists, and they'll fill all the way to the top until they foam out. It will send a can forward, and this is where we have our lid dropper. You can grab a lid on the bottom of your can. Should do better. Lid pops on, goes all the way through. We have a chuck arm that'll push the can in. It applies the top of the lid to the beer, and it sends it on through. We've got somebody at the end of our canning line who packages each and every beer by hand. And that's how your Cahaba Blonde is made, along with any other beer that you enjoy from here.
Man, that's an amazing machine. Look like something off Laverne and Shirley.
Dude, it's a fun machine until it don't work. When this thing don't work, I've done seen people throw things across this brewery.
Yeah, I can understand.
When we have our grain brought in the house, we actually have whole grain kernels. If you have a whole grain kernel, that's awesome. There's a lot of potential in that kernel. What you need to do to actually get that those complex sugars out is crush it. So what we do is we get our big sacks of grain. Each of these sacks weigh 2,200 pounds. We send it through our PVC pipe on the bottom, and it ends up making it all the way over the mill. Over here on the mill, we have a 2-hammer mill. All that does is just crush our grain up to where you've got the shell, you've got the inside sugar. That's about it. Sends it all the way up to our grist case, and then where y'all saw the brew house earlier, there's a little light switch I have sitting up top. I hit that light switch, it sends all my grain for me. So I got somebody brewing my grain in for me, I'm the one brewing it. So it's a whole system. It takes 3 or 4 people to make a whole brew day work. We got somebody handling totes, got somebody brewing, got somebody milling in, we got somebody checking all the temperatures and checking all of our sugar contents. It's a very involved process. It's not one person to brew. It takes 4 or 5 people to make it happen.
So it's a nice production.
Very cool.
Everybody got to do their part.
Now, if y'all want to get cool, because y'all know how, as hot as it is back here,
Going to the cooler, y'all.
into the coolers where we have all of our finished beer. No product comes in here that isn't finished. Y'all feel free to come on in. Mike will come on in a second.
Come on. Oh, man. This right here.
This is where we keep all of our finished products. Anywhere in here at a time, we can have anywhere from about 3,000 cases to about 8,000 cases of beer at a time. And sometimes even more when we try to squeeze it on in.
So back with the machine back there, how many cases can you do at a time?
Oh, that came to mind? I'd say a day we can do about 700 cases. Wow. So each one of these stacks right here that you see is 100 cases. So we can probably do about 7 of those in one day.
Oh, man.
And that's about an 8 or 9 hour day. If we really wanted to push it, we could do 1,000. But we don't ask people to work more than an 8 hour day. We don't work that way. We don't work that way.
Keep everybody going.
Yes, sir.
This right here, that blonde, baby, one of the best. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah, we make it easy for our bartenders, man. They can all walk up in here as soon as they run out of beer. Y'all see it all the time. They tap a beer. We keep it all level for them so that all these kegs, they can come right in and grab themselves one, get the next customer ready to go.
So, Steve, what's your favorite beer?
Favorite beer? It's gone now. It's gone now. It was Amber Light. Amber Light was a 4.2% beer. It was, baby, you already know.
I got some of them.
Yeah.
That was good.
Del Rio is also phenomenal. I love me. As a distiller, as somebody who makes whiskey, I love corn presence in a beer, and Del Rio has an excellent corn presence. It offers a sweet maltose. I love it. Outside of that, I like I told y'all earlier, I drank myself a little bit to death on the blonde.
Yeah.
I've had it too many times. I love it. It's still a great beer. If I have my option, though, right now it's probably going to be Del Rio.
Del Rio. Gotta try that Del Rio, y'all. It's a good beer.
Gotta get Del Rio. Put a lime on it, too. 3 of those, you're going to have a great day.
Get you a couple of shots of that agave tequila that they got. So what we headed next?
Last thing I want to show y'all is liquor barrels.
Okay.
And then if y'all give me a second, I'll get some tasters. We can taste some out of a barrel if you like.
Bet.
You want me?
Yeah.
Actually, I got one fun for you. Want to be the first one to try some Reposado?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'll be the
let's do
first
it.
try the
Let's do it.
Reposado.
Let's do it.
Get some Reposado today for all my Reposado drinkers. So this is the
4 months standard agave.
What we drinking? This is the agave Reposado, right?
Reposado, not finished yet. Not finished yet, obviously.
You
Barely
see
in
this?
color yet, but we just started putting it in there about 4 months ago. This is the standard agave
man.
you drink, but we starting to get some of that oak character on it.
The nose smell. That's a no.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Yes.
It's coming.
It's gonna take its time.
I see it. It's coming.
Yeah, I mean, it's already the agave you like. I want some of that oak character to it, man. It needs some more of that vanilla. You know what I mean?
There you
You
go.
say this is the new one y'all working on,
Yes, sir.
so it hasn't been released yet.
Yeah, not yet. Not yet.
coming.
Not
Y'all
yet.
planning on releasing it?
I mean, because after you get your mouthfeel
As
and you
soon as
taste
I
it,
decide this tastes good, you know what I mean? Like
It's the vanilla.
when
goes
when it
down.
hits a good color is my biggest thing. But as soon as those vanillas hit, you know, we've already got like a nice citrus honey kind of flavor to it. As long as that vanilla can balance it, I think it's ready to go.
so right now, what you think the proof is on this?
Oh God. Let's see. I put that in at 104.2, and it's been sitting there for about 4 months. I'll say probably 106 right now. Proof
How long will
is.
it sit?
Reposado.
How long will it sit there?
I mean, and that's the fun part. That's the fun part in this with all of us is I don't know.
Yeah.
There's no
There's
way
no
to
telling.
protect the time it'll be done.
I can sit here and say that I've had good reposados that only sat a year.
Mm-hmm.
Were they using the same barrel? Did they have the same recipe? Did they use the same process that I did? Did they have the same fermentation abilities? They didn't. That's the beauty of craft. Nobody can ever have a finite answer. I'm never going to have a finite answer. I can do this for 40 years. I'm never going to look at you in the eye and say, I know exactly what I'm doing, because I don't.
Yeah.
And anyone who says that they are is lying.
Great down.
They sure
We
try
try to
make.
figure it out, we fuck around and we find out. And right now, I think we'll fuck around and find out the right way with that. I would like to say 6 or 7 more months. Could
see
take
the
2 more years, could take 2 more months. We don't know. We just gonna wait until it's ready.
I can't wait.
That aging process is something else.
It is. It's a
That's
it's a
right.
thing of beauty.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
And patience teach you a little discipline. Patiently wait on something good.
So the number one thing this industry's taught me is patience.
Yeah, you got to
sure
have
shit didn't possess that before.
you got to have it. And have a great whiskey, a great beer, whatever. You got to have it.
That's right.
This is
baby.
my brother Brayden. And again, Cahaba Brewery. Got to get out, got to try you some.